Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too. And all in between. This is for the absolute positive good God and truth to you and your lives, only crossing bigger and better. The state of one more positive than negative is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, holy with spirit, all will ever know or be. It's the state that all in body and matter is stated good to the truth of God of their shape, form, and mass, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now than all negativity. It's the substance, durability, and solidness. It is the value and volume of all shape, form, and mass, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now than all negativity. It's the only state that all prayers are answered in, all miracles happen in, and all dreams come true in. And if I ever shared anything with anybody anywhere, I want to let you know this is a golden age of thought that I'm sharing with you, from the mind through the body to the world. If you look all around you, from the inside out at 360 degrees, it's all made of atom matter, right? The buildings, trees, you, me, everybody of everything evolved to reality check. And inside this atom matter is protons, neutrons, and on the outside of the atoms are electrons, okay? And the protons are 2 up quarks, 1 down quark, and the neutrons are 2 down quarks, 1 up quark. And anywhere any matter is more protonic, right, more positive than the negative of it, it's stated good to the truth of God of its shape, form, mass, to the substance, durability, and solidness of it, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now of its reality check. And when it's not bad, evil, or sinful. It's just negatively neutronic with its energy of being one more positive, good as the truth of its shape, form, and mass. It's in a state of decay and disintegration to the absolute bigger, better of the one nothing of all things negative of the here and now of it. Meaning, if you are negative with negativity one too long, no matter if it's the buildings, trees, you, me, anybody of anything, right? It's the absolute one nothing of your here and now matter to reality check. And this is how it happens. Everything creation of existence, right, that is more positive, the negative is more protonic, okay? But when it's not, especially like when it's a man or a woman, we'll just speak to the reality of a man or a woman, right? It's negatively deficient through the neutrons of it. Meaning, if the positive energy doesn't overwhelm the neutrons, which is the matter and the soul of you, right, then it's always negatively deficient of you. And that's why no matter what, you're always looking to feel more positive than negative to make your matter good as truth, your atom matter evolved good as truth, okay? And when it is, it can't be destroyed. Anywhere creation of existence, atom matter is stated more positive than negative, right? It's stated good as truth and can't be destroyed, okay? But with a man or a woman, whenever you state negative with negativity, you can only do it through faith, okay? And the reason why is all else is just crossing more positive than negative, you hear me? To make their matter good as truth. They're only staying protonic to the good truth of their shape, form, and mass. But every time you cross negative with negativity as a man or a woman, you can only do it through faith. And that faith is a snake of energy, right, on the neutron, because it's not always protonic, you see? And because it's not always protonic, it's always negative of it. And to cross negative with negativity is the devilish hells of all things, okay? But it's even worse than that. It's the decay and disintegration of everybody of everything to one nothing of them here and now. But on the outside of an atom, right, when a neutron is in a state of decay and disintegration, right, it flickers and pulsates with energy. And when it's part of a neutron star, right, it flickers and it pulsates with energy, okay? And it becomes a pulsar. Well, eventually it collapses into a black hole abyss, right, of its matter to one nothing of it here and now. And this is what happens to your atom matter and body of your matter when you don't cross more positive than negative always. and you cross with faith, a snake of energy from positive to negative on your matter, right? It's the devilish hells of all things to cross negative with negativity, and that's the only way you can cross with faith, because no faith is absolutely more positive than the negatives of it. And it states that things cross bad, evil, and sinful. And because we don't recognize that these bad, evil, sinful ways are just negative of us being more positive and good always, right? We create jails, victims, crooks, prisons, wars, conflicts, and convicts of it, right? And all of it's just negative of being more positive with the governance of us, the judgment of us, and the leadership of us to make us always good as truth. And in reality, right, it's utterly lacking to the reality check of mankind, because as far as leadership goes, if you can't identify that the only bad, evil, sinful way of you, man, is a negative way, you won't always cross that negativity back more positive. So with your faith, you create these victims, crooks, jails, prisons, and wars, instead of sparing no expense, right? To only make those conflicts and convicts nothing, man. And in reality, this is why the world is stated to a police state. Everywhere you go, man, there's jails, prisons, and some sort of conflict, right, with victims and crooks. And it's all a lack of good leadership as truth. It's all a lack of good understanding as truth to the absolute bigger, better here and now of all mankind of reality check. To the Muslim, Christian, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, atheist ones of you. And because no science teaches it, no religion preaches it, and no laws respect it, in reality check, we are dying of it. But I want to explain something to you. At one time, the earth, right, was a true sister reflection with pyramids all over all of the one God, of Allah of all, for everlasting peace I am, the Son of God, right, as the good truth of God, of the thieving Holy Spirit out at every point of time and space of all I am, good as the truth of God of its shape, form, and mass. And it was he shafted, it was Shiva shafted by a snake god devil. You hear me? And in reality check, right, this devil, right, is a snake on the 7 days of us, and it's the snake on the 7 continents of us, man. And in reality, it's a snake on every man, woman, and child who ever existed of it. And see, Adam came to himself in the garden, right? And the reality of the rulers, the demonic rulers of us, right, came to Adam, and he couldn't get bearing on reality, okay? But he was the God and the king before the world was he shafted, before it was Shiva shafted, right? And he was eons and eons old, and the men of old, right? The Egyptian kings of prehistory that lived hundreds of thousands of years, the Samaritan kings of prehistory that lived hundreds and thousands of years, the Egyptian kings of prehistory that reigned for thousands and thousands of years, even the Aztecs and the Mayans, their pyramids are way older than what they're being stated. Their civilizations, the Minoas, man, they were all pyramidal kings. They were all dynasties that was he shafted by Shiva and these Nagas, man. And what they did is they established reign all over the world, each continent, right? And through their blue-blooded dynasties, right, they inbred, and they did it for so long that they eventually had to come to the Mount Hermon, and this is where the fallen angels come from. That's who they were, you hear me? And they had to breed back with the inhabitants that was not them, because their children started coming out like something from St. Jude, you hear me? In reality check, you hear me? And they couldn't sustain that kind of ancestral way, man. And in reality check, right, when you're more positive, right, like the world was with this neutronic energy, with all the pyramids all over, right, as the good truth of your matter, the neutronic, right, this Shiva devil god has no control over you. Listen to me. Adam came to himself in the garden, okay? He knew he was an Adamic man, and he was created never to be destroyed. He was an atomic man. He was created to never be destroyed, okay? He was created good as true, but he couldn't get his bearing on reality. And these demented fools, which is just men and women, right, that he shafted the world, right, the ones who we follow today through our laws, through our religions, through our science, right? They taught him back faith, and he was a he shaft to his atom matter evolved, keeping it good as truth. See, because listen to me, prior to that, the Earth's neutronic matter was a sister reflection, more positive as the Son of God of it, right, with the mind of God of it, right? And Adam, right, was the mind and the body of God, good as truth, right, to the reality check of the Holy Spirit of him, what I'm stating today to you, man. And because he couldn't get his bearings back on reality, he lived 930 years, right? And these years were just in agony and pain, and they didn't amount to nothing because, like I said, he was eons and eons old, and the men of old, right, that created the pyramid dynasty around the world, right? They were he shafted, and they were destroyed by these inferior godheads, man. But in reality, this knowledge is circulating, and this knowledge is good. And if you want to have the mind of God, good as truth to you, don't cross negative with negativity. The only way you can with faith, listen to me, only cross all back more positive, to keep the world around you good as true from your mind through your body to the world. This is what it means to have the mind of God, to have the body of God, to have the Holy Spirit of God pumping through your veins, keeping you alive and well. You can never be destroyed for being more positive than negative. Let me explain something to you about gnosis, okay? It's knowledge. And I'm going to show you something, right? Wherever atom matter is more positive than negative, right, it's stated good as truth and can't be destroyed, okay? The good of God, of Allah of all, for everlasting peace I am, is only one more positive than negative, Christ-like, right? That's the first and second dimension of all I am, with the Holy Spirit out. The more positive than negative, Adam man evolved of all I am, the third and fourth dimension of God, one together, bigger and better with the earth. The fifth dimension of all, God, truth, reality check. I am the Father, Son, and thief and Holy Spirit of all mankind's negativity to one, neutral, nothing. I absolutely, positively am. And like I said, every time you cross with faith, right, it's a snake of energy on the neutrons, right? It's a bushwhack. It's a nutty, fruity bushwhack on your matter, man. And it's a snake of energy, and it causes these neutrons not to be able to sustain their positive good form as truth. And in reality check, you crisscross to a black hole matter abyss on your matter, man, and it's infinitely negative of you here and now with the devilish hells of you. Listen to me, man. This knowledge is circulating. Don't cross devilishly, delusional, nutty, and fruity. A bushwhack, he shaft, a snake of faith on your matter. All faith is negatively deficient of only crossing more positive to keep you good as truth always, as the absolute bigger, better of your here and now matter. And every time you do it, or the leadership of you does it with the faith of them, right? In reality, right, they're snaking themselves and they're snaking you and your life to one neutral nothing of you here and now, just the negative of you here and now. But I'm telling you, man, the absolute bigger, better here and now than all negativity is the only cross one more positive always. It will always keep you good as truth. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die of being more positive than negative always. That doesn't happen in reality. That just kills a negative way to one nothing. You hear me? The only thing that can kill you and make you suffer, make you hurt. Listen to me. Don't be of faith. Be of good truth. More positive than negative. Only train yourself to only be good as truth from your mind through your body to the world. This is the mind of God I'm giving you. This is the body of God I'm giving you. This is the Holy Spirit of God I'm giving you. This is the good God and truth of Jesus Christ of all I am. The Holy Spirit of God of all I am. Allah of all for everlasting peace of all I am. God bless you, Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, 1, 2. Don't let your leadership cross you faithfully. Check them at every point in time and space, man. Only be men of old, only last. Only bring this world back to a more positive way than being snaked with faith always. A she-he shaft, a Shiva shaft, a nutty, fruity bushwhack on all mankind. God, truth, reality check. I love you. I love you. I love you. That's a fact of God check. That's God, truth, reality check. Peace.